Hey guys, today we're sewing a relaxed, oversized button-up short sleeve shirt. You can find the pattern on my Patreon page. The link is in the video description down below. If you don't want to miss any more sewing tutorials, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and if you like the shirt, I'm very happy about every thumbs up. To sew the shirt, I use my normal sewing machine, the Singer HD 6335M, and my overlock from Yuki, the MO50EN. If you only have a normal sewing machine, no problem at all. I will try to explain everything within this framework, and the parts with the overlock are just a nice extra.
But what do we actually need to sew the shirt? Approximately 1.5 meters of fabric, 8 to 9 buttons, sewing needles, stretch and universal, a normal presser foot, an edge presser foot, a button presser foot and a buttonhole presser foot, a pair of scissors, a seam ripper, a tape measure, chalk or a colored pencil, thread that matches the color of the fabric. Once we have all our stuff together, we need to prepare our pattern. To do this, we lay all the A4 pages in front of us in the correct order and cut everything perfectly along the edges. Then we need to glue all the small individual pieces together to make our final pattern pieces using sellotape. Now we can start with the cutting. I opted for a beige terry corduroy fabric, which is really breathable and has a very cool look. We lay the two sides of the individual pattern pieces for the front on the spread out fabric. The pattern direction of the corduroy is of course vertical, and then we cut the two pieces out. The back and the yoke are cut on the fold. This means you fold your fabric once, so wide that the pattern piece fits perfectly in width. Then place the folded edge on the pattern piece on the folded edge of the fabric. This is also called the fold. Fix the whole thing, then draw the outline, or you can cut directly along the edge of the pattern. Of course, we also need a right and a left sleeve. It is also a good idea to fold the fabric so that you can simply lay the sleeve pattern piece on top and cut out the two matching pieces directly from the two layers. And now pay attention. You will see these lines along the edge of the sleeve on the pattern. Mark these places, as they are the same lines on the pattern pieces of the back and front. These lines are there so that you can align the sleeve when you insert it. Next, we cut out the collar piece. Here the fabric is also folded in the same way, and the two layers give us the matching under and upper collar. Now we can cut out the facing strip for the later neck seam and also one breast pocket. For this shirt I won't be adding a breast pocket, however if you would like to sew on one, you can check out my polo shirt tutorial. It explains step by step how to create a nice breast pocket. Now let's cut out two collar stays and we have all the pieces that we need for the shirt. And we will start with the back yoke. We place this with the bottom edge right sides together on the back piece and secure this section with clips. We then sew this section with a stretch stitch with the needle position in the middle and the presser foot edge to edge. I need the stretch stitch in many places on this shirt due to the stretchiness of my fabric. If you're using a fabric with similar conditions, I would also strongly recommend this type of stitch. Otherwise, the seams will simply rip open in the end. How to set this stitch type on your sewing machine should be explained in the instruction manual. For non-elastic fabrics, you can use a normal straight stitch. We also finished the extra seam allowance with the overlock. If you don't have one, you can also check your instruction manual to see what kind of overlock stitch your normal sewing machine has and finish the edges with it. Now we take our edge sewing foot, set the stitch length to 4, fold the seam allowance down and make a top stitch seam on the right upper beautiful side of the fabric. Next, we turn our attention to the collar. First, we attach the matching stays to the under and upper collar. To do this, we attach them to the collar piece with the rounding right sides facing. Sew this section with a normal straight stitch. Sew slowly and accurately so that the curve is nice. In the next step, we fold the extra seam allowance down and make another top stitch from the top. Of course, we do this whole procedure for the upper and lower collar. For this project, we don't need to pay attention to anything special for these two collar pieces, as they are both made from the same fabric anyway. So we lay our prepared collar pieces right sides together and secure them with clips. Now pay close attention. We place our prepared collar under the normal presser foot in the same way. Stitch length 3. Needle position in the middle. Now sew 2 to 3 stitches forward and the same number back. This is called back tacking. This prevents the seam from coming undone. Now sew up to approximately 1.5 centimeters before the corner and now pay attention. Keep the needle in the fabric. Turn the piece of fabric so that the presser foot is at a 45-degree angle and now set the stitch length to 2. Make 2 stitches at this angle and then sew stitch length 3 again, the whole long edge and do the same on the other side. These two small stitches make the corner look much better. At the end, cut off some fabric at an angle on both corner edges so that it doesn't collect in the corner when you turn it. But be careful not to cut too close to the seam, otherwise there's a high risk of the seam coming undone. Next, turn the collar right side out. Lay both sides and edges on top of each other in sync. Secure the edges with clips and top stitch all the way around. The lower, still open collar section can now also be sewn together. We will now turn our attention to the front of the shirt. First, we overlock the two edges of the respective inner sides. Then we take our back piece and place it right sides together on the two front pieces so that we can secure the shoulder sections with clips. These are then sewn together with a stretch stitch and finished with the overlock. Now it's back to the collar. To do this, we mark the center of the collar and the neckline of the back. Then with the lower side sewn shut, fix the collar with clips all the way around, right sides facing. Now take our serging tape and place it along the collar, right sides facing. Now, very important. At both corners of the two front pieces, fold the fabric over the collar and the serging strip by approximately 4 cm. These will later become our plackets for the buttons and buttonholes. Next, using a straight stitch and a stitch length of 3, with the needle position in the middle, sew edge to edge along the entire fused passage with the presser foot. The two corners of the front pieces can now be turned once. The serging tape is now folded around the seam allowance, folded down like the seam allowance on the yoke from the beginning and pinned in place. It will look like this. This section is now top stitched close to the edge with a side needle position. The next step is to create our clean center slats. To do this, we check in even sections that our slats always have a width of 4 cm. Once we have done this on both sides, we sew close to the edge along the inner overlocked seams using a normal straight stitch. In any case, we can now insert the sleeves. Pay attention to the markings from the beginning. Fasten everything nicely with right sides together using clips and then sew together using the stretch stitch. I finished the whole thing again with the overlock. Next, we lay our shirt, including the sewn on sleeves, right sides together and secure both outer edges with clips, as these will also be sewn together with a stretch stitch in the next step and then overlocked. The bottom hem of the shirt is now finished. To do this, we first fold 1 cm and then fold the strip so that a 2.5 cm wide strip is created. We do this all the way around and top stitch everything close to the edge with a normal straight stitch. We do the same procedure for the hems of the two sleeves. For the buttons, I opted for 8 medium-sized ones and 1 small one. The 8 buttons are placed in equal increments on the left side of the shirt when viewed from the front. The small button is placed at the top of the collar just below the upper edge. Now mark the positions of all the buttons and sew them on using a button presser foot. Alternatively, you can of course do the whole thing by hand. Finally, all that's left to do is make the buttonholes. I opted for vertical buttonholes. To make them neatly, place the strip of the right front side perfectly on the side with the buttons already sewn on. This makes it relatively easy to feel the shape of a button through the fabric and thus make a lower and upper marking. The buttonhole is then sewn using the buttonhole foot. Be sure to test your settings on a test piece before sewing. Finally, all you have to do is cut the buttonholes with a cutting knife. Here I can give you this tip. First, cut from one side to the middle and then from the other side to the middle. This way you don't run the risk of ruining everything in the last few meters. And this is the finished button-up short sleeve shirt. I like it incredibly well. The fit is really impeccable. We have subtle drop shoulders with nice wide sleeves and the back with the yoke also fits perfectly. The collar and the button placket also fit in wonderfully. This shirt can of course be sewn with any type of fabric to create a very elegant garment.
If you liked the video, then I'm definitely happy about every thumbs up. Feel free to send me your finished sewing projects via Insta. It's always really cool to see what you guys come up with. Feel free to let me know in the comments how you liked the video, and if you got any more suggestions or questions, please let me know. See you at the next video. Until then, have fun sewing.